So there are 7 Archons in Genshin Impact, and we have already went through almost all of them. We have gone through just enough so I can have all the information to explain all 7 of them. And as the journey till now has already been quite long, I bet you have already forgotten most of the Archon's lore from the past, but are also curious about Tsaritsa, a future Archon of course. Well, I'm gonna be starting off with Venti and then ending with Tsaritsa. So Venti is an Anemo Archon also known as Barbatos, under the disguise as a joyful bard. He became one of the Archons after defeating the Caribbean, also known as the god of the storms, and they decided to battle him because he kept his people trapped in a wind barrier. As a way to protect his people, however this didn't work out as people felt imprisoned, so they decided to take him down, with Venti being their leader. Also before Venti became an Archon, he was just some elemental being. Venti took the form of the bard he met during the time when the Caribbean was still ruling Mondstadt, which explains why he disguised as a bard, out of all the people he could have been. And because people were free, Venti as their new god decided to make Mondstadt a city of freedom. There are also rumors that Venti is connected to Easteroth, a god who controls time and wind. Some even say that Venti is a part of her, but that's not true, as she is another god from Mondstadt alongside Venti. Next up is Zhongli, and as all the players already know, he is the oldest Archon, who has lived for around 6,000 years and experienced many things. However, he is now currently in human disguise just like Venti, and is working for Hu Tao, a director of the Wangshan funeral parlor. He was the one who was creating Mora, at least until he gave up his gnosis, as he decided to retire as an ancient god, taking his death in the process once he heard the merchants say that you are finished with your duties. This was his final contract as a god of contracts. He became the god of contracts once he set Liyue's laws, and he founded Liyue around 3,700 years ago. With that, contracts are the most important for Ex-Lapis himself, as those are the agreements set by Zhongli, so breaking a contract basically means breaking the law. Zhongli was also another one of the gods who fought in the Archon Wars and defended Liyue. He defeated many monsters and ancient gods during the Archon War, such as Osial. This all happened 2000 years ago. Before the Archon Wars, Zhongli was together with the god of dust, also known as Guozhong, the creator of Guozhong Ballista that we can still see today. However, she unfortunately passed away during the Archon Wars. Zhongli also brought Aizjaha to the surface when he was buried alive. However, Aizjaha ended up breaking the contract and started attacking people, so Morax alongside with Adepti buried him back underground, explaining on why does Aizjaha hate Zhongli. After the Archon Wars, Venti and Zhongli are the only remaining original Archons even until this day. Next up is the Electro Archon, the current leader of Inazuma and follower of Eternity. A former Electro Archon who was a sister Makoto lost her life during the Cataclysm of Canria. Ever since then, A has become a new Electro Archon and started following Eternity, so she could get closer to the Heavenly Principles for taking everything from her, but also to keep Inazuma the same as it is. A then decided to create Kunri Kusushi, who failed to protect her gnosis, so she abandoned him and left him to become the wanderer he is now. Now she decided to hand the gnosis to Yaimiko to keep it safe, one of her few remaining alive friends, and created another puppet known as Raiden Shogun, and secluded herself within Plane of Eutimia to meditate, wanting to keep the memories of her deceased sister for eternity. Fatui wanted to create market for the delusions, and successfully managed to encourage Raiden Shogun to begin the Vision Hunt decree, as she believed that it lines up with her idea of eternity. However, we as a Shadow managed to convince her to stop it. Next up is Nahida, also known as Lesser Lord Kusanali. Thousands of years ago, King Dashret, the Lord of the Deserts, introduced forbidden knowledge into Teyvat, and knowledge that comes outside of Teyvat. This caused lands to start withering, even affecting Irminsul, a gigantic underground tree that records all of the memories and from where the Dendro Archon gains so much knowledge, as she is connected to this tree. In order to stop this forbidden knowledge, King Dashret decided to sacrifice himself, which apparently reverted a former Dendro Archon, also known as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, into a child. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was another one of the casualties during the Cataclysm. However, she reincarnated into Lesser Lord Kusanali, which is Nahida we know of today. However, Nahida was not as strong as her former Archon, making most of her people go against her, even attempting to replace her with a stronger god. However, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata decided to completely erase herself from history to stop the withering, and so people will remember Nahida as their only god, meaning that her people started respecting her. Now there was once Egeria, Focalors' former Hydra Archon, and she created humans from Oceanids, which means that people of Fontaine are originally Oceanids. Egeria, just like Greater Lord Rukkhadevata and Makoto, died during the Cataclysm, and so Focalors took her place. However, as Focalors knew that Fontaine will get destroyed, her job was to protect her people. Focalors also separated her divinity, creating a human Furina to exist separately as a god and a human. She had planned it all out and tricked the heavenly principles in order to save her people. She ended up sacrificing herself so that Nulet, who is an ancient Hydra dragon, finally got his powers back, as heavenly principles took them away from him. With that, Nulet apparently turned Fontanians into real humans, beating the prophecy. As Focalors is now gone, Fontaine is now without an Archon and Furina is living her normal life, just like all the other humans. The first Pyro Archon was Xingqiu, and he was originally a human. Same with Mavuika, she is also actually a human. There have already been multiple Pyro Archons, and each one is a human that becomes one by winning the tournament held in Atlan Stadium. Basically, Mavuika actually lived 500 years ago, who had her own family, however she died and then apparently woke up in the current time. It's like time traveling, but by dying. The reason why she did it is because she knew that Natlan has less than a year to live, so she killed herself in order to save Natlan. In the latest Archon quest, Mavuika found 6 heroes, from which together they used the power that Xingqiu gained from the ruler of death, temporarily stopping the beast from destroying Natlan. Now at this moment we still have to save Natlan when 5.3 comes. In the meantime, let's talk about the Tsaritsa, the last upcoming Archon. So Tsaritsa is the only one of the 7 that's not on the Archon side, as she turned her backs on them. Pyro, the director of Fatui Harbingers, is from Khaenri'ah and seeks revenge for Khaenri'ah's destruction, and Tsaritsa is apparently on his side. Either way, as we all know, they are collecting other gods' noses, which are the powerful chef-looking figures that are actually remains of the third ascender. I can only assume that they are taking them to combine their powers in order to fight against Celestial. Tsaritsa became one of the 7 around 500 years ago and witnessed Cataclysm's destructions. Just like Pyro, so he joined her and together they created an organization that is now known as Fatui. Let me know if you have any more questions or any more theories that you want to share. I truly hope that this video helped you out. Anyway, thanks for clicking on this video and paying attention to it. In our case, I will see you all in my next one.